Hey everybody, have you ever wondered what type of downspouts are available for your existing gutter system? We want to go over just some of the basic options that are available to everybody and the type of application that might be best for. First of all, every downspout that you see here, we've got aluminum. We even have a steel one on the end there. These first ones that you see are pretty much this type of downspout you're going to see on just about every residential house and even commercial, just the same. Now you see two here that look the same. The difference is this is a standard 2 by 3 inch downspout. Again, you're going to see this on just about every house in your neighborhood. The difference here with a 3 by 4 is just that, volume. You're going to typically use that on a 6-inch gutter system, whereas with the smaller one, your standard 5-inch gutter system. Now we also have here in the middle some round downspouts. And just like it states, this is a 3-inch round. If this is the type of look you're going for, this is considered more of a custom downspout. Again, 3-inch, you're looking at a 5-inch application versus a 4-inch downspout, more volume. This one would be used more so for a 6-inch gutter system. If we look at the one here on the end, this one is made of steel, much more durable. This is what we considered a boxed downspout. You would use this typically on a 6-inch gutter system. That could be either a straight face, it could be just a K style, just the same. But again, this is an entirely different look that you're going for. Now, when it comes to elbows, there's typically two styles that we're using. We've got a B elbow and an A elbow. You can see the slight difference. This has a skinnier application that's actually going to hug a wall, whereas this has a flatter, broader installation that's going to come out from the wall. And we'll show you in just a minute what that looks like. With your round downspouts, again, 3-inch, okay? It's corrugated for that bend, and a 4-inch. Big difference here, though, with the box downspout. This one has to be cut by hand. Again, out of steel, not the same material here. However, you'll see that it would just simply slide into place just like that. And when the installers are there, based on where that's coming off in the wall, where they want that to end up, whether it be into a drain or into some other adapter, they're going to cut that angle accordingly. Just like that. I want to show you real quick, again, the difference between an A elbow and a B elbow. Now, every downspout and elbow have a male end and a female end, and this is why. Here on the downspout, you've got your male end and your female end. Doesn't take much. Once you have your elbow on, it's going to go in just like that. Now we're going to actually apply this. Let's pretend for a moment this is the facade of the house, okay? And here's our straps. I've already placed those accordingly. We've got our height. We know where that downspout wants to come out. We're going to raise it above the ground ever so slightly. I'm going to make sure I'm centered. I'm going to tightly wrap the pipe band around the downspout. You can also refer this as a strap. And we're going to use a 1/4-inch zip screw just like that. Okay? Very simple. Again, make sure everything's lined up. Pull it in tight. Bend it over. And then I would put a set screw there. Okay. Now, with this, again, pretend for a moment that this is the side of the house. We're not going into a French drain. We just simply want the water to flow this way. Now, again, you can add an adapter that then plugs to a 3-inch or a 4-inch corrugated pipe, which then distributes the water further. That is typically on the homeowner to do so. Okay. However, the installers will do it upon request. Let's switch this out. Let's pretend for a minute that this is a driveway. We don't want water just to flow here, but then we've got a grass strip right here. In that particular application, we will want to use the B elbow. So again, this is a slimmer profile. At this point, again, male end, female end. Sometimes this needs to be manipulated just a bit, just to get a good fit. Next, everybody, we want to look at the application of using an adapter that would then connect into your chlorinated pipe. Now your corrugated pipe comes in two options typically. Well, more than that, but what we use is either a 3-inch or a 4-inch. This is solid. It's not perforated in any. You will find, say at Home Depot or Lowe's, there are perforated pipes. That's not the application you want for this, especially if this is above ground. Preferably what we like to see is that your landscaping company has dug out a French drain and done it properly, at which point this can just tap directly into it. In this above ground application, this is what we're going to do. This is a 2x3 by 3 adapter, essentially 2x3 for your downspout into a 3-inch hose. Now, when we're going into a B elbow, how I place this on here doesn't really matter so much, but it does with an A elbow. However, with a B elbow, again, simply going to put it on, screw it in place, plug and play. But then I'm going to add screws to secure that to make sure it's not going anywhere. Let's show real quick. I'm going to take off this B elbow. Let's secure this strap so it stops moving on me. Okay, we've got our A elbow application. Okay, not going anywhere. Now this is the mistake often I find when I go out to a quality check. The complaint is the water is draining or flooding or pooling outside of the adapter. Why is it doing that? Well, there's one reason. Water wants to flow downhill. If you notice here real quick, there is a difference. Okay, this is the correct application. If the downspouts flowing into here, the water is just going to come down this way. However, if this is backed up, your water is simply going to pool and then come out here. We don't want that. So again, if you're going to do this yourself, we want to make sure that this is flowing downward. Secure the adapter. At which point we can then plug in this case, our 3-inch corrugated tubing. Typically, this goes out as far as long as the customer requests. Now, when doing a corrugated tube, typically we want the downspout to be placed slightly higher than what we currently have here. You can see here I have to really press down to get that seated. So when the installer knows they're going to do this, this application is going to be a couple inches higher, at which point I'm now able to secure everything in place. So that's it. Again, we've got several options as far as your downspouts. Your most common application, again, is your 2x3. That's for a 5-inch standard gutter. Coming back over here, just to reiterate, a 3x4, higher volume. That's going to be more so for a 6-inch gutter. And then for your aesthetics, you have your options for a customized round downspout, 3 or 4-inch with corrugated elbows, and then a box downspout, which typically is more your higher end, your steel gutters. We can do a steel K style, not typically what we do, a straight face, box style, several others. Again, thanks for joining us every day. Let us know if you have any questions.